Our scripture reading for today is Yaakov, which is James chapter 4, verses 7 through 9. Submit yourselves therefore to Elohim. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to Elohim, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Be afflicted, and mourn, and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to heaviness.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Our selection today, King Yosua is a listening.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long. To hear some sinner pray.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long. To hear some sinner pray.
Some say that John the Baptist was nothing but a Jew, but the Holy Bible tells us that John was a preacher too. King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long. To hear some sinner pray.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long. To hear some sinner pray.
The gospel train is coming, a rumbling through the land, and we hear those wheels are humming. Get ready to board that train. King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long. To hear some sinner pray.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long. To hear some sinner pray.
We know we've been converted. We ain't gonna make no alarm, for our souls are bound for Zion, and the devil can't do us no harm. King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is a listening.
All day long. To hear some sinner pray.
King Yahshua is listening.
all day long.
King Yahshua is listening.
All day long.
King Yahshua is listening.
All day long. To his own sinners.
To hear a sinner pray.
The church oracles of the UCI. 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5, verses 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed unto the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice, and be kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim, for Yahshua's sake, has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as dear children, and walk in love as the Mashiach also had loved us, and had given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becomes saints, neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather given of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 through 2. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim, for Elohim is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore, let thy words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 through 21. Behold, I send an angel before thee, to keep thee in thy way, and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelation chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him, and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that will overcome will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcome and am set down with my Father in his throne. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom, which is peace on Yahweh's holy Sabbath day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in this body of Yahshua. Now, we have dealt with previously the Antichrist. As it is written, there were many Antichrists. What we have to do is start dealing with a few questions here. First of all, why were there so many Antichrists? A lot of times we, of course, just read about the beast and the false prophet, and those are the things that are interesting to us. But we have to deal with why there were so many Antichrists, and also when it says, as he has overcame, you must also overcome. We have to then deal with that part of what must we overcome. So we have to examine his path, because being baptized into his death, accepting all of those things, we have to understand that there's a part in that we have to deal with. You can't be grafted into any tree and not be a partaker of the things that are contained in that tree. So if someone says that I have residual income coming from Microsoft, well, what does that mean? At some point, they put something into Microsoft. Microsoft just didn't decide that the way you use Word and PowerPoint was so good that they were going to send you a check. No, what happened, you put some of your money into that stock. And then eventually you started receiving some things from what you put in. So this is why we have to go through the path of the Messiah, so that we don't get weary when we start encountering some things, because he has to strengthen us for, this leg of the journey that concerns us. And in Galatians 4:16-19, it says, am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? They zealously affect you, but not well. Yea, they would exclude you, that you might affect them. But it is good to be zealously affected always in a good thing. And not only when I am present with you, my little children, of whom I travail in birth again until the Mashiach be formed in you. Wait. The Mashiach be formed in you? We have to go through our own labor pains to get to that point where the Mashiach is formed in us. See, a lot of times people deal with this becoming one, and they don't understand what that means. Elohim is so powerful when we deal with this leg of the journey until Christ be formed in you. Wait a minute, just as he was one with his Father, we have to then become one with him. How are we going to do that? Then that spirit has to start formulating inside of us, and it starts changing how we operate in dealing with things. And it's not supposed to change everything about us. It just alters how we operate in certain things. That's it. But we have to, there's a reason why it says, I stand at the door and knock. If any man. Now, he's omnipotent and omnipresent. He don't have to ask to come in. But it's absolutely wonderful if you open the door and let him in. Now he can sup with you and you with him. Now he can start dealing along those lines. So let's begin today's sermon in Matthew chapter 1. Matthew chapter 1 and verse 18.
Now the birth of Yahshua the Mashiach was on this wise, when as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Spirit. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man and not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privately. But while he thought on these things, behold, the angel of Yahweh appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary, thy wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit.
This first of all tells us, it says that we must overcome. The first thing that we have to overcome is our own selves. It says, verse 19, then Joseph, her husband, being a just man and not willing to make her a public example, he think that she has gotten pregnant by somebody else before they've gotten together. That's why he's upset. But he doesn't react on his emotion. See, if he reacts on his emotion, he already done left. He done already gave her some choice words. Matter of fact, if he said it publicly, they're going to stone her. So he's already dealing with himself. then, but while he thought on things. So this meditation period is the opportunity for the Spirit to work on you. But if you operate every time your feelings get activated, you have never given the Spirit an opportunity to work with you. Understand something. The Spirit didn't come to him first and tell him how to react on what was happening. The Spirit sat there, waited till that woman became pregnant, gives him an opportunity to get upset about what he has seen. Then he meditates. After meditation, then the Spirit shows up. What if he never meditates? Then you know by the time the Spirit attempts to show up, he has already gotten her stoned. See, sometimes we're so quick to react on those feelings. At what point did you give the Spirit an opportunity to work with you? What was your meditation point? Where was that? Go ahead.
And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahshua, for he shall save his people from their sins.
Now, we have to start drawing correlations that the name of Yahshua was not picked by any of the parents. I need you to get that. And she shall bring forth a son, and you shall call his name. Understand, this is not of either of their choosing. There's a reason why I need for you to remember that. Go ahead.
Now all this was done, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of Yahweh by the prophets, saying, Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is, Elohim is with us. That's it.
That was it. All right. I tell you what. Go to chapter 2 and start that at verse 1.
Now, when Yeshua was born in Bethlehem, and of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east up to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born, King of the Yehudi? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and the scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where the Messiah should be born. And they said unto him, In Bethlehem, Judea, for thus it is written by the prophets.
So you have to understand what's happening here. We have people who have power over our people. They know that we operate according to the law, statutes, and judgments written in this book. They then, to effectively rule over us, learned these things, not because they care for our Elohim, but because they want to know how to rule over these people. Remember what they said during the times of Daniel: we should not find a problem with him unless we find this problem concerning the law of his God. So understand now, by this time, they very much so know Daniel stuff is way up in here. They very much so know, no, this is how you're going to control these people with their worship. Now pause for a second. What do you think is happening unto us and what's about to happen to us tomorrow morning? How do you think they are controlling the masses of our people? This is why they can get a government loan to build a monstrosity of a church. They need as many people to go in there as possible. Because now all they have to do is go to that one guy, and that one guy makes 10,000 people be still. Even if 10,000 of those people desire to riot because something has happened, that one guy can sit 10,000 people down. It's the same trick. It's not a new trick. If the trick has already been working since antiquity, why change the trick? You hadn't figured out how to overcome it yet. Go ahead.
And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, art not the least among the princes of Judea? For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared.
So these rulers are examining our law, statutes, and judgments. They're speaking to the prophets. They inquire about these things so that they can circumvent them before they take place. You have to understand that this is why we have to actually get into our book. Do you understand that your enemies are studying your book more than you are? Do you understand that your enemies, you have to think about something. If this was a team and half of this room, I give you guys, blue jerseys, the other side get red jerseys, and I give a playbook. If the other team studies your playbook more than you, when you get ready to run your little outside sweep, when you come across that line, there is a guy in your face that has knocked you so hard you saw yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Because guess what? He built up momentum. He didn't decide. No, he knew the playbook. So when he saw you going that way, he went full speed. He know the ball coming to you. And when you take your eyes off to look at it, you grab that ball. When you turn back, uh-oh. When your enemy knows your playbook better than you, you have a problem. Now, we already have that problem. Nobody knows this book better than the adversary, the devil. None of us know the book like him, okay? But if his players also learn the plays better than us, we have a monumental problem. We can't do nothing about him knowing. There ain't nothing we can do about that. But if his players know, we got a problem. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, Go and search diligently for the young child, and when you find him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. And when they had heard the king, they departed. And lo, the star, which they saw in the east, went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was.
Now, part of this overcoming is you're going to have to learn how to overcome deception. Before he even gets here, there's deception in the midst. You have to overcome even as I also have overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. There is deception before he even gets to make a move. And this deception is trying to keep him from being the person who he will be. I don't think we understand that's what deception is all about. Because you haven't understood who you will be, you don't really understand why there are things placed in your midst. See, a lot of times you're thinking for what you are. But the adversary, the devil, is not worried about what you are. The adversary, the devil, is worried about what you will be. You think he's fighting you for now. It ain't for now. No. He's trying to get you to make some decisions that you will not be what Yahweh has already called you to be. So you're in a fight that you don't even understand. You're swinging for now, and you're swinging out your own damn emotions. Go ahead.
When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. And being warned of Elohim in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way.
Now, when the Spirit does show up, the Spirit shows up at a time to give you instruction, but to also protect you. To make sure. You think the Spirit just found out that Herod was foul? You think the Spirit figured that out at the last minute? No. The Spirit told them at the last minute. Now, what happens? What enormously wonderful thing that the Spirit is doing at that point? It's protecting you. Guess what? You get to stand straight face in front of this man and say, yep, all right, I want you to come show me. Yep, because he ain't told you yet. So Yahweh gives you information when you need to know it, but he also takes away information when you don't need to know it. And that part is going to confuse you because you're going to know in yourself, I'm intelligent enough. Why couldn't I figure this out? No, he took that. He didn't want you to figure that out. See, if you figure this out in front of Herod, then you make that stupid look on your face. And he's like, what was that look? Wait a minute, you lying. No. Yahweh protects you. You ain't lying because you don't know. You can't lie, you don't know. He ain't told you. He wait till the last leg. Oh, by the way, turn left. Herod on that bug. He protected you. But not if you react in your feelings so much that you don't give him an opportunity for the Spirit to work with you. You have already got in your feelings and took off. You down the street, the Spirit show up. Hey, what Junebug? Anybody seen Junebug? I came here. Yahweh sent me here to come deal with Junebug. What Junebug? Look now, that's back his head right there. He's saying there go Junebug. Junebug gone. What happened? Spirit said, no, I was sent here to deal with Junebug. Well, Junebug couldn't wait on you, Spirit. You need to learn how to go faster. Right. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of Yahweh appeared unto Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
Okay, so now these instructions are coming right in time. Of course, now these instructions still not making you feel good. Because at this point, as soon as you get comfortable, now get up and go somewhere else. But his plight is also mimicking the walk of Israel as a people. Go down into Egypt. So there's some things happening. And sometimes when Yahweh is directing you or he's letting you go through some things, those things don't have anything to do with anything that you've done or anything that you will do. It is about something that he's showing you about what his people are going to do, or something that he wants you to understand about what his people have done to him. But if you so deep into your feelings, all you thinking about is you and how you feel right now. Go ahead.
When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt.
Now, I know this seemed like a real easy thing. I mean, verse 14, hey, man, when I leave, I love to leave at like 3, 4 in the morning. Ain't nobody on the road, man. This is wonderful, man. It's just me in the highway. Everybody think I'm crazy. They're like, man, come on, can we leave in 4 more hours? No, we got to leave right now. This is my time. This when Daddy feels the magic. You know what I'm saying? 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm in my zone on the road at 3 a.m. When the sun come up, I want to be talking to it. I beat you. You know what I'm talking about? No. This is my thing right here. Now, that's easy because I don't know if y'all noticed this, but I-20 got lights. All right, I-20 got lights. Now, when he arose and took the young child and his mother by night, I don't think you understand Afghanistan, dog. I don't think you understand what's happening right now. This may seem like a really small verse to you, but I don't think you know what kind. If anybody was raised outside of Atlanta, and you know what jet black night looked like, this is when he started. You hear dogs, but you can't see them. Hey man, what was that? They see you, but you don't see them. So you might just go past this little verse, but you're not really thinking about how difficult this is. Now, hold on now. And he took the woman and the child. Hey, hold on, bro. Hold on. I want y'all to just, science project. About 1 o'clock tonight, I want all y'all to grab your wife and get the smallest child you got. And tell her, let's just go for a walk. See what she say. Right. Go ahead.
Was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of Yahweh by the prophet, saying, out of Egypt have I called my son. Mm-hmm. Then Herod.
Out of Egypt have I called my son. Now, there's a conversation happening and a conversation is happening. There's some parallel streets here. Out of Egypt have I called my son. Now, he's dealing with Yeshua, but then there's something else that's going on here. Go ahead.
Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth, and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coasts thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men.
All right, so now he's doing his equation to figure out how old he should be and to kill everything around that age. And it says when the wise men, and we got a graphic up there. How many wise men is it? How many wise men is it? Right, this book don't tell you how many wise men it is, but they've always given us 3. They gave us a white one, a black one, and a Chinese one. Yeah. Now, Chinese people weren't looking for no Messiah, and the white folk ruling over the children of Israel, they ain't looking for no Messiah. All these men came from the east, all of them looking for a Messiah. All of them the same people. But we think it's fair when we get offered a false image like that.
You know, it's being inclusive. You know, so you got white Jesus, you got black Jesus, and you got Chinese Jesus.
When the hell did we get Chinese Jesus? When did Chinese Jesus come into the... I had been in one fried rice restaurant and they had Asian Jesus. Tell me when you get... Why in the hell do we accept that? We ain't never seen... Have you even seen any of them say, we are waiting on Chinese Jesus? Have you ever seen that? They don't even tell you that. So how we let somebody tell us a lie and them people don't even tell that? But we think that's cool. It's all inclusive. They weren't looking for no Chinese Jesus. But see, that's us. We'll let anybody into our struggle. That's why we don't own civil rights no more. The gays got all of that. We don't have no more move. Black Lives Matter ain't even ours. We let anybody into our struggle. But you see what the issue did? They got a whole nother racism. They ain't got nothing to do with us. They made their own racism. They know we're not letting y'all in because y'all let everybody in.
We got our own racism. We don't want to deal with just racism because y'all going to let everything in. Dogs and cats, and it's going to be cat racism. No, they said, no. They got a racism just for them. Because we let anybody into our struggle. 1 minute, it was about how black people was mistreated. 6 months later, It's black and brown hatred. How the hell? That quick, all of a sudden, now the Hispanics done got in our struggle. How we just opened the door and all of a sudden, Julio and all his cousins in here. Who let Julio in? How he get in here? I ain't seen him down on the ground getting shot unarmed. How did he get in the struggle? We'll let anybody in. We are inclusive of everybody, and nobody is inclusive with us. Go ahead, praise.
Verse 17. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Yirmiah the prophet, saying, In Ramah was there a voice heard, lamentation and weeping, and great mourning. Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted, because they are not.
All right. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 1. So, you know, one of the things that they like to, throw on us is the family dynamic of the so-called African American, even though the powers that be are the ones that destroyed our family dynamic. I watched a Saturday Night Live skit where they was talking about, black kids being raised without their fathers, and they wouldn't, and this was like put out as a joke, and it was making a correlation between Superman and black people, and they was like, well, there is a correlation between them because Superman was abandoned by his parents. So they tried to make this little joke. Now, what's interesting is everything that the powers that be set up was made sure that it would be a rift in between our families, even offering the women assistance, but they have to leave the man to get the assistance. And they put this forth for several generations. They even they built projects, made all these projects, spread them all across the country, gave these women free housing, and the only requirement, you can't have a man. So now we have an entire, not just one generation, we got about 4 or 5 generations that they ran this project, science project, that they ran this project. So now you have generations upon generations of women that said, I don't need no man. What happened? It was made that way. Matter of fact, if they even felt like a man was in the house, the woman could lose her house. And then one day, they came through and tore down all the projects. You can't find a project here in Atlanta. Atlanta was riddled with projects. They had projects that were absolutely humongous. They gone. Now, what happened to the mindset of all of those people who were in those projects, who were told, get rid of your man? Now, they have now grown up and taught their daughters, get rid of that man. And then they have grown up and taught their daughters, get rid of that man. Now, the sons have been raised to say, all right, you be here for a little while and then you get up and leave. You be here for a little while and you get up and leave. And then they have the audacity to joke about what they built and act as though they had nothing to do with it. Hebrews chapter 1, and let's read verses 1 through 14.
Oh, I did want to say one thing.
Go ahead, brother.
I think it's funny that Saturday Night Live skit about Superman and black people. I mean, the origin of Superman is supposed to be a play on the story of Moses being saved from death and given to another family. I just thought that was really interesting.
Hey, brother, let me tell you something. Everybody knows our story and laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? And they do this right before our eyes, and we'll catch the first line, but not the second one. We don't catch the fact that they related a black man to being super. You're so busy with the little twist of
He was raised without his parents. Oh, but he was super though? Wait a minute, tell me about that super part. Tell me that. So you telling me he was better than other men somehow. How was he better than the other men? Tell me about his super qualities. Oh, that part didn't make it to the joke. This is the game that they play. And why not? They have been taking our story, take angels out, give them outfits and call them Avengers. And we go pay $1 gajillion to go watch. Man, didn't Sock just read that on the Sabbath day? What the hell y'all in there for? Y'all done gave these people $100 million. We could have read that for free. Because they put a little sound effects and a few explosions in there. Gave you some kind of hydrogen collider. You say, oh, hell yeah, this is it. Right. They're telling you your same story over and over. And you keep buying the same story. Go ahead.
Elohim, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he had made the worlds.
Hold on. By whom also he made the worlds. I keep telling people the owner of Firestone will never be changing tires. He gives out orders, and those that are under him put those orders into fruition. So when people hear Elohim is one, they think that the same entity that is in heaven is the same one who's going and doing all the physical labor. Why have angels? Why have any of those things if you have to do them yourself? And if you're going to be the leader of something grand, you can't micromanage. You have to give those people the autonomy in the job that you have given them. You can't tell them that they had a right to change tires and then you're going to be down there every time. Did you put the water around the rim? What about the air? What kind of pressure you got in there? Did you put is it 44? Is it 46? Let two out. Did you tell the man he can change the damn tire? Well, leave the man alone. Go ahead, Bree.
Verse 3, who, being the brightness of his glory, and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty of high, being made so much better than the angels.
Wait a minute. So now we got even levels of this. So Yahweh already has angels who are messengers and servants for him. Don't make no sense to have messengers and servants if you're going to do all the work yourself. That seemed like a really idiotic thing to do. I'm going to get all these servants. I'm gonna get, all these aprons and hammers, all these nails. They said, what you going to do, Sock? I'm going to build this whole thing myself. Why the hell you got 13 hammers for? You ain't got but 2 hands. Go ahead, Bree.
As he hath by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. For unto which of the angels said he at any time, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. And again, I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. And again, when he bringeth in the first begotten into the world, he saith, And let all the angels of Elohim worship him. And of the angels he saith, Who maketh his angels spirits, and his ministers a flame of fire. But unto the Son he saith, Thy throne, O Elohim, is forever and ever. And a scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom. Thou hast loved righteousness and hated iniquity. Therefore, Elohim, even thy Elohim.
Wait, come on, we can't go past that. All right? You have loved righteousness and hated lawlessness, which is what iniquity is. Therefore, Elohim,
Even your Elohim. Wait a minute, hold on. So your God got a God? Wait a minute. He talks about Yahshua. He says by whom he made all the world. Is he not an Elohim? But then he got a father. Therefore, Elohim, even thy Elohim. Yet we still got people stuck on, God is one. He has done everything himself. Yet them same people go to work and they got a job. And they might even be in management. Did you run every last one of them stations yourself? But I tell you what, when the district manager come, is he going to go to those people or he going to come to you as a manager and then ask you why those stations are not done? How is it that we can figure that out naturally, but spiritually somehow we're lost? It says he was going to have captains of 10, captains of 50, captains of 100, captains of thousands. But we still think he got to do everything himself. See, what we do is we limit Elohim and think that he thinks like us. So if we have a limited mindset, we believe that he has one too. If we can't see past them 2 trees, we think he can't see past them 2 trees too. Go ahead.
Hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellow. And thou, Adonai, in the beginning, hast laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of thine hands.
Hey, y'all might have to adjust some volume because he a little bit R&B and I'm rock and roll as hell. Hey, he got that 104.787 Joyce Littell. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the slow jam at night. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, and Joshua said. Yeah, hey, so y'all might have to adjust that volume up there so that I don't scare the hell out of them when I start talking. Go ahead, bro.
They shall perish.
Oh, he got louder then. That's on. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
But thou remainest, and they all shall wax old as doth a garment, and as a vesture shalt thou fold them up, and they shall be changed. But thou art the same, and thy years shall not fail. But to which of the angels said he at any time, sit on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool? Are they not all ministering spirits, sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs, the heirs of salvation?
All right, now I want to, read something to you in Deuteronomy 18 and verse 15. It says, Yahweh your Elohim will raise up unto you a prophet from the midst of you, of your brethren, like unto me. Unto him you shall hearken. Moshe was already talking about the coming of Yahshua. So you have a lot of old covenant brothers who will tell you that they don't believe in the Messiah. Well, the old covenant is where it prophesies about the Messiah. But if you don't have that with you, I'm telling you, them one bookers gonna get you, because they say, hey, we only believe in one book, and they talking about the Old Testament. Well, we still got a problem here, because very early in this book, we were already told about another one, and he says, like unto me. Understand, there's never been another prophet like Moshe. Understand, Moshe was face to face with Yahweh. Understand. Yahweh was already showing us, because while spending time with Yahweh, he was changing into a God. That lets you know when he says, like unto me, wait a minute. This is going to be some heavy stuff, whoever he's talking about. He ain't just going to be no one of the saviors. This is what people like to say. Well, he was a savior. He was a Christ. No. The one he's talking about has spent time with Elohim, and his spirit was changed. Well, Yahweh said this way is going to be different. Instead of him coming from earth and spending time with me and changing, he going to already be with me, and I'm going to send him to earth and change him. Now, he going to change when he get around y'all. See, he's already a God when he was with me. But I got to change him so he can be around y'all and not burn y'all up. See, we don't get the way he's dealing with things. Let's go to Exodus chapter 4. So they just want to make him, they've been, he's like a military general. No, brother, this way more than a military general. I ain't never seen a military general glow. But that's their way of listening the Messiah. So then what? If he must also overcome, or we must also overcome the way that he is overcome, that means you have to be able to overcome when people speak down on your accomplishments and abilities. Are you going to get upset about it? How you going to deal with that? He's got to constantly deal with people being upset with his accomplishments because they can't do it. If you want to go ahead and get assaulted, just end up doing something that your neighbor can't do. And just wait, the assault is coming. Go ahead. Exodus chapter 4, and I want you to read verses 18 through 23.
And Moshe went and returned to Jethro, his father-in-law, and said unto him, Let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren, which are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive. And Jethro said to Moshe, Go in peace. And Yahweh said unto Moshe in Midian, Go, return into Egypt, for all the men are dead which sought thy life. And Moshe took his wife and his sons, and set them upon asses. And he returned to the land of Egypt. And Moshe took the rod of Elohim in his hand. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, When thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, Thus saith Yahweh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto thee, Let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn.
Now, we have to then get to this, because at this point, Yahweh is clearly making a distinction as Israel being his son, his firstborn son. Now, at other times, if we read, it likens the entire nation of Israel as being married unto Yahweh. But right here, he's dealing as Israel as a single individual. Now, what is he talking about? How does Israel just become one person at this point? Who is this one person that he's dealing with? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 21. See, we must understand, at the baptism of Yeshua, the Spirit came out of heaven and then dwelled in this body. Wait a minute. So now he's dealing with Israel as one man. Let my son go. He said, This is my son in whom I'm well pleased. Wait a minute. He's speaking of Israel as his son. The same way he spoke about Yeshua. But see, we think that this don't show up into the New Testament. No. He's speaking of Israel, his son, in the Old Testament. Then he mentions his son again at the baptism of Yeshua. You think his son was just born? Huh? Deuteronomy chapter 21 and read verses 15 through 17.
If a man have two wives, and one beloved, and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn, by giving him a double portion of all that he hath. For he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his.
All right, so wait a minute. So the firstborn gets a double portion. So he's talking about Israel, his son, and then he has these people then whom he's going to allot in the representation of his son. Well, then those people automatically get a double portion. Okay, let's go to Genesis chapter 32. Genesis 32, and I want you to read 22, verse 22 to verse 32. And remember now, it was the inheritance between Jacob and Esau that caused the rift. All right, now Israel gets a double portion. Okay. Genesis 32, and start that at verse 22.
And he rose up that night, and took his 2 wives, and his 2 women servants, and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford Yobak. And he took them, and sent them over the brook, and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day.
Right. Now, I don't know how Yahweh moved him to separate himself from his family, but Yahweh got him alone. Sometimes that's the last thing we want to be. He got him alone. We do everything to keep from being alone. And he like, look here, man, I need to talk to you, but I don't need these people in here. No, me and you, yeah, that's I see your wives, I see your children, that's all good. But I need to talk to you. But I need to get you by yourself. I don't need nobody else thought about what I'm saying. I don't need nobody else feeling about what I'm telling you to do. If they find out about it, it's because you told them. But I don't need them here when we talking. I don't need nobody talking when I'm talking. Go ahead.
And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel, for a prince hast thou power with Elohim and with men, and has prevailed.
So the angel knows, if you can't hold me, no, the power that you have is not earthly. But he has given you the power of his son. You shall be no more called Jacob, but Israel. Wait a minute. Let my firstborn son go. Wait a minute. He didn't call him Yahweh. First of all, he said as a prince. We have the name of Israel and don't even know that it is prince. That's what Israel means. He didn't call him a king, he called him a prince. A prince is under a king. Automatically, I'm naming you after the second one, not the first one. Go ahead.
Verse 29. And Jacob asked him and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there.
In other words, he said, none of your business. What do you want to know my name for? But I mean, come on, man. That's obvious stuff. The guy, the angel asked him his name. What's your name? Of course, the angel already knew his name. It was a rhetorical question. What's your name? He needed for him to say it. Jacob. Your name shall no longer be Jacob. You think he didn't know his name? Yahweh sent him to him? He needed him to say, when you go to court, what they ask you? What's your name? You think they didn't know your name? Damn it, the summons got your damn name on it. What's your name? Jacob. Yeah, I need for you to understand, Jacob, that you shall no longer be Jacob. Your name is Israel. Because you have power like a prince with Elohim. Okay. Go ahead.
And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel.
Right. Now, if he knew the name of the angel, would he have called the place by the name of the angel? Okay. Now, see, people don't think that it's evil that they get all these twisted books that's got all these names of angels in it. But knowing how we operate as a people, that angel saved him by not telling him his name. So if any angel is just openly telling you his name, you have to wonder, is he trying to set you up? What kind of angel you got before you? Is it one of Lucifer's? Go ahead.
And he called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen Elohim's face to face, and my life is preserved. And as he passed over Penuel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh, unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrank.
So then we have to come out with two things. We can't discount God, even your God. All right? So we got two situations here. Then we have to ask ourselves, of whom are we named after? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 43. It says, God, even your God. So we like to just give Yeshua this power. We like to just have these things miraculously just already be there. But there's some situation and circumstance that had to come about. And they're not all pretty. So we want to have certain things, but we don't want to go through all the things to get it. We like to look in the parking lot and we like to see certain cars. That's a fine automobile. No, but I ain't trying to go to work though. I mean, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Man. Then there's maintenance, and then you be trying to, man. I just want the car. Yeah. But there's even after you get that car, can you even maintain that car? I don't know how many of y'all drive often. Have you paid attention? How many Range Rovers you see parked on the side of somebody's house? Fine automobile. When it work. Fine automobile. Now, but when the said vehicle breaketh down, you're looking at about $5,000 to do something. This is when people realize, you know what? I don't think I can afford this car. There's so many fine Range Rovers with grass all up around it. It becometh a decoration for the house. Why? Because they can't afford to get the maintenance. That thing need a belt. I thought, you mean this car is sitting here because it need a belt? Yeah. Well, just get the belt. The belt $2,900. Well, let's not get that belt. Let's not get that belt. But we saw it, on Auto Trader, and it looked like it was a good price. It was a good price. Right, you can afford the car. You couldn't afford to keep that car up. Right. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 43, verses 1 through 11. But now, thus saith Yahweh, that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Yisrael, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine.
Wait a minute. Now, O Israel. Now, let you know who he's talking about. Jacob, who I changed to Israel. All right? I am he that formed you, O Israel. For I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. I gave you the name Israel. That angel didn't give you the name of Israel. That angel was doing what I sent him to do. I gave you the name of Israel. Now, why did he name him Israel? Why didn't he name him Yahweh or all the other variations that people say? Yahweh. Why didn't he do that? Yahuwah. You got everybody's version. Why you didn't name him none of that? Go ahead.
Verse 2. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee.
Not if you pass through the waters. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. What happened when you see the water? You know what? I'm not going in there. Go ahead.
And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire.
I ain't walking through no fire. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. For I am Yahweh thy Elohim, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Seba for thee.
Right. It says the fire, you shall not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon you. Let me tell you something. There's natural fire, and then there's the spiritual fire of life, of the things that we end up going through. Okay? When we go through those things, and it's just said that we ain't supposed to make it, the fire didn't cleave unto us. That's the thing. Go ahead.
Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east, and gather thee from the west.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't you just say, I'm going to gather your people from Germany? I'm just reading this stuff. I'm just reading this stuff, man. Why didn't he just say that? Why didn't he just say, I'm gonna get your people from Germany, Saarbrücken, I'm gonna get them, and I'm gonna bring them in. Why didn't he just say that? Interesting. Go ahead.
I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth.
How did he get to the ends of the earth? Go ahead.
Even every one that is called by my name.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Who talking and who they talking to? Who is this? Everybody that's called by my name. Whether I hadn't seen a nation of people or any people on the earth called Yahwehites. Not one group of people. Even the folks who in the land claiming to be, they not only won't call themselves Yahwehites, they won't even say his name. Go ahead.
For I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yea, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deaf that have ears.
Now, you have to consider this. Even everyone that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him. Yea, I have made him. Wait a minute. So Israel has a purpose. So if Israel, the God, has a purpose, his son, then the people who are named after him on the earth has a purpose. And if they don't fulfill that purpose, there's going to be some issues. Go ahead.
Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this, and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, it is truth. Yea, ye are my witnesses, saith Yahweh, and my servant, whom I have chosen, that you may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no other El formed, neither shall there be after me.
Wait a minute. We're going to have to slow this down for a second right here, because, all right, you are my witnesses, says Yahweh, and my servant whom I have chosen, that you may know and believe me and understand that I am he. before me, there was no Elohim formed. Who in the hell formed an Elohim? What's going on here? Elohim, first of all, is plural of El. El is God. Elohim is plural. See, when people don't understand the relationship between Israel and Yahweh, they discount that because it doesn't fit into the things that they were previously taught. Go ahead.
I, even I, am Yahweh, and besides me there is no Savior.
And this is a favorite that a lot of old covenant brothers like to use, or people who off into angel worship or things like that. They love this one, and they won't do this. And they read this, they say beside me. They won't look at that and go other than me, on top of me. They're gonna say they're looking at this physically beside me. There's no other Savior. They don't understand that everything that he has operates with him. It says his arm brought forth salvation. The arm is a part of him. And this is where our understanding gets limited. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 53. But what if some did not believe? We can't let their unbelief limit us. If this is as far as you can go ahead and ring that bell. Go ahead and get off at the next stop. That's yours. But we got somewhere to go. From day one, I said, hey, it's Zion a bus for me. I'd like for all my family to go. But I tell you what, I said Zion a bus is what I said. If I got to look at that bus, look out that bus window and see you, damn, I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna tell everybody about you when I get there. But damn it, I got to get there. Isaiah chapter 53, let's start that at verse 1.
Who hath believed our report, and to whom is the arm of Yahweh revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness. And when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him.
Now, we're gonna have to get back to that, because the images that we have given is that we've been given is man's idea of an acceptable look. Go ahead.
He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrow and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteem him not. Surely he hath borne our grief, and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of Elohim, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and Yahweh hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. And he was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth.
That's how you know, hey, that was some God stuff right there. Because as soon as we get afflicted, the first thing we open is our mouth. We even look like something gonna hurt. You ever seen a kid get a whooping, and the woman grabbed the switch and she pull it back, and the kid starts screaming? He ain't got hit yet. That's us. Ah! It ain't even came back down this way. We think about affliction and we start screaming. Ain't nothing even touched us yet. Go ahead.
Verse 7. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shears is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who shall declare his generation?
Remember, at one point they asked him, answer you nothing concerning all the things which they accused you of? They were mad at him because he wouldn't talk. Go ahead.
For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased Yahweh to bruise him.
Wait a minute. He had done absolutely nothing wrong, yet it pleased Yahweh to bruise him. Wait a minute. Is Yahweh some mean Elohim? Why would it please him to bruise his son? Wait a minute. How else are these people going to get saved? When it says a body have you prepared, understand something. From the beginning, it always had to be a man sacrifice. Animal sacrifice was given as a schoolmaster to lead us to the Mashiach. If a man sins, the blood of a man has to be shed to make atonement for sin. So when you look at all these other religions and you say, man, these people crazy. No, they was on a different level. They just didn't have the right situation to deal with. But to try to appease the God that they were worshiping, they did human sacrifice. So did Yahweh. But he did it differently. They did it wrong. He did it right. Them understanding bits and pieces of a story. See, this is where understanding bits and pieces of a story can get you killed. Think about how many people the Mayans killed. How many people they sacrificed. Wait a minute. And you look and you want to say, oh, they was completely on the wrong page. Wait a minute. Didn't Yahweh let a man get sacrificed? But because they didn't have the right man, they had to keep going. So they had to constantly keep sacrificing virgins, sacrificing this, sacrifice the children, sacrifice this. They keep going. Yahweh said, no, I got one. And the one I'm going to sacrifice, he coming back. Go ahead.
He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of Yahweh shall prosper in his hand. He shall see the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors. And he bare the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors.
Let me ask you a question. He bare the sin of many. Why don't say he bare the sin of all? Simple question. Well, I thought he can't save the world. He can save the whole world, Craig. The world. Why he just bear the sins of many? Why he didn't do all? Now let's go. I want to go back to verse 2. For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant and as a root out of dry ground. He has no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. Now we got to deal with that now, because we've gotten acceptable images from other people, and we know that there's things about certain people that they reject. So we first have to deal with what is beauty during these days and times. Now, it says there is no beauty that we should desire. How do we mark attraction in today's society? Accolades and accomplishments are what we use. What college did you graduate from? And how much money do you have? What is beauty in the physical form? We have allowed people to dictate to us what is beautiful and what is not. So much, in fact, that there are very attractive people who don't feel attractive because the powers that be have decided that this type of person is not attractive. But when one believes that they are attractive, their confidence draws others into the attraction that they feel toward themselves. So now, as we go to the next graphic, I have to read the words of a profound street poet. He says, heartthrob never, fat, black, and ugly as ever. However, I stay Coogee down to the socks. Rings and watch filled with rocks. What has happened? This man knows that he's not attractive in the physical form. Yet he possesses things that procure attraction. It is written that the Son of Man has not yet where to lay his head. So he don't have no money. So he ain't got no rings and watch filled with rocks. So what attracted the people to this man who has no attractiveness, yet people were attracted to him? He ain't got no money. See, Big Papa was able to tell you, I know I'm ugly, physically. But I have some things that cause people to be attracted to me. All right? The power of the spirit of Elohim, when it is on you, causes people who don't like you to like you. And they know that they don't like you. So they are confused why they like you. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 11. Now, if one spirit can cause somebody who don't like you to like you, let's see what Yosua had. Because he had no money. You know, all that takes, all Big Papa had to do was get a little bread. And all of a sudden everybody said, Biggie, give me one more chance. All right? All right? Now, and in his own words, and I'm not saying anything that I've said against him. He said, heartthrob never, fat, black, and ugly as ever. However, all right? However, that is the biggest word in there. However. All right, so let's see what Yahshua, because he had no money. People weren't running to Yahshua because he had that money. So let's see, what does the Spirit, what kind of attraction does the Spirit bring? Isaiah chapter 11, let's read verses 1 through 5.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Yesse, and the branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of Yahweh shall rest upon him. 1. The Spirit of wisdom. 2. And understanding. 3. The Spirit of counsel. 4. And might. 5. The Spirit of knowledge. 6. And the fear of Yahweh. 7. So if just one spirit can bring this attraction, what will 7 spirits do? And see, this is what causes people to be angry, because they feel like they should be able to do what you do. They say, you know what, I look better than that brother. Come on with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm more handsome than him. Yes, sir. But somehow they stuff don't work out. Come on now. See, you got the wrong spirit. I got more money than him. Come on with it. Why are you looking at him? I got more money than him. Right, they mad. They angry with you. And they want to know why they can't do it. I studied more than he studied. I can speak things that he couldn't possibly speak. I know languages. Right. However. Read, bro. And he shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of Yahweh, and he shall not judge.
This is what most of them have a problem. They don't have any fear of Yahweh.
and his spirit can't reside where somebody don't have fear. Go ahead.
And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteous shall be the girdle of his loins, and the faithfulness of the girdle of his reins.
All right. Now I want to read something in John chapter 4. It says, but the hour comes, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeks such to worship him. Elohim is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So now we have to ask ourselves this question. How does Elohim, the Elohim of all the earth, prove to man that he is or has not worshiped with his whole heart? We must remember that he left the foreign nations among Israel to prove them, to see if we would serve him or not. So then he presents scenarios that will test the heart of men. Let's go to Matthew chapter 2. Matthew chapter 2. And I just want you to read verses 19 through 23.
But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of Yahweh appeareth in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and go into the land of Israel, for they are dead which sought the young child's life.
Now, I don't know if y'all make the correlation or think about when it was time to deal with Samson, the angel only spoke to the woman. Now, here, the woman has been impregnated by the Holy Spirit. How many times the Spirit talked to her? After this situation has begun, he ain't dealing with nobody but the man. Now, she the one having the baby now. She the one got little Holy Ghost baby. All the instructions going to him. So that means Yahweh knew that she was a woman about order, that she would take the order that he had given to her, because she has to believe. It does not say that he gave them dreams and instructions. No. It says he gave him dreams. He's telling her, all right, Yahweh said we going here tonight. Now, what happened if she a different kind of woman?
Well, I mean, why Yahweh didn't tell me that? I'm the one carrying Holy Ghost, baby. Have you ever felt the Holy Ghost baby kick? I don't think you have. I don't think so. So I'm not going to no damn Nazareth. Now run, go tell that. Go back to sleep and see if you get another dream. Because I'm not going there. Me and all this holiness, we're not doing that. We are better than that.
What? See, it matters what kind of woman you got. It matters what kind you got. Does she respect his authority, or does she need to challenge his authority at every turn? And these some pretty profound movements here. Go out in the dark of night. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. You sure you just didn't eat some lamb too late or something? I mean, come on. Why are we doing this? Go ahead.
Verse 21, and he arose and took the young child and his mother, and came into the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus did reign in Judea, in the room of his father, Herod, he was afraid to go thither.
Now, whoa. Now, he had a dream and he was told. Then he heard Archelaus did reign in Judea in the room of his father Herod. So Herod's son is ruling. He was afraid to go there. Now, does the woman then come in?
You see, I told you something wrong with that dream. You mean tell me you had a dream, but the dream didn't tell you that his son was in here?
Go ahead.
Notwithstanding, being warned of Elohim in a dream,
He got to go back. He got to go back to sleep. Go ahead.
he turned aside into the parts of Galilee.
Now, so situation and circumstance have then pushed him into Galilee, which is where Yahweh wanted him to be anyway. But we're going to get to that in a minute. But something happened. He had to be on the path to go one way, get close enough there, then he give you another instruction. Our problem is we don't take one step until we know exactly where we're going to go. We need to go, even when we put our GPS coordinates, we look through the entire thing like we going to remember. Get on I-20, go for 15 miles, then jump on I-75, go at 85, go to Georgia 20, go to there. You ain't going to remember none of that damn stuff. Why in the hell are you looking at all of it? We just look at it all the way down, all the way down. We need to have every bit of the instruction. Once we think we got all of it, then we start. That's not how Yahweh works. So if you think your GPS going to help you in the walk with Yahweh, you got another damn thing coming. Because he don't give you that next instruction. When you read that, this is like, you ever had those people who telling you how to get to their house? And you on the expressway, and the exit right here. Yeah, get out right here, bro. You should have told me that a quarter mile ago, bro. Bro, I'm in the far left lane, bro. Then you get off, you get on the street. All right, turn right here. Bro, I'm already past the yellow line of that street. Now you telling me to turn on the street, and I just passed the divider of that street. Yahweh not giving you no advance notice about where he wants you to turn. If that bothers you, I advise you go ahead and leave now. If you go ahead and get you some rest, you can catch crab flow in the morning. Go ahead.
And he came and dwelt in the city, called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophets. He shall be called a Nazarene.
He shall be called a Nazarene. So this is how he then pushed him there. Luke chapter 2. So we want our way to be paved in gold. There's certain things that, Yahweh gonna give you a vision about your life. And other times he ain't gonna give you no vision at all. You're gonna figure it out. So you going around expecting visions for your whole life, you're gonna have some problems. And after he set you on your way, why he need to keep giving you vision? Luke chapter 2, let's read verses 1 through 7.
And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria, and all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. Mm-hmm. And Joseph also went up from Galilee.
So Joseph went up from Galilee, go ahead.
Out of the city of Nazareth. Into Judea.
Right, because he had to be taxed according to his lineage of where he was from. So now you got to go back to his place. Go ahead.
Unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because He was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the day was accomplished that she should be delivered.
And you know, hey, it's a very, very difficult thing to be going on a journey and a woman in her final days of delivery. And this ain't a comfortable travel. You know, a lot of us like to, brag about, saying the comfort of our vehicle, the nice supple leather, the heated seats. I ain't seen none of that on a donkey yet. And it ain't that smooth either. Go ahead.
And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
All right, so now he has to leave to go and pay this tax, and he's coming from this place in Galilee. Now let's go to Matthew chapter 4. Matthew chapter 4, and I want you to read verses 12 through 25.
Now, when Yeshua had heard that Yohanan was cast into prison, he departed into Galilee. And leaving Nazareth, he came and dwelt in Capernaum, which is upon the east coast.
Seacoast,
In the border of Zebulun and Naphtali, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Esaias the prophet, saying, the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles.
Wait a minute. You're going to hear a lot of things when people say Galilee of the Gentiles. This is also where you hear that strange doctrine from those purple megaphone people, and they claim that this is where Israel became Gentiles. All right, so you got to get ready for that strange purple doctrine. I call it the purple haze. This is where you're gonna get that purple haze from, right here. All right, don't breathe in. All right, when you see the purple haze, go ahead.
The people which sat in darkness saw great light, and to them which sat in the region and shadow of death light is sprung up. From that time Yeshua began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And Yeshua, walking by the sea of Galilee, saw two brethren, Simeon and Cephas, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers.
Now, first of all, he's calling these people, and these some different kind of people that he calling. Now you have to understand that. Go ahead.
And he saith unto them, follow me, I will make you fishers of men. And they straightway left their nets and followed him. And going on from thence, he saw two brothers, Jacob the son of Zebedee, and Johanan his brother, in a ship, with Zebedee their father, mending their nets. And he called them. And they immediately left the ship and their father, and followed him. And Yeshua went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues, and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people. And his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all the sick people that were taken with driver's disease and torments, and those which were possessed with devils, and those which were lunatics, and those that had palsy, and he healed them. And there followed him great multitudes of people from Galilee, and from Decapolis, and Jerusalem, and from Judea, and from beyond Jordan.
All right, now all of this is going on in Galilee. Now we'll hear that one part that he did not many works in Cana of Galilee, because that was specifically the place where they knew him. But Galilee itself is where these things are going down. Now, let's go back to Isaiah, because we need to catch a little bit of this. Isaiah chapter 9. And I want to read verses 1 through 7.
Nevertheless, the dimness shall not be such as when it was in her vexation, when at first he lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterward did more grievously afflict her by the way of the sea beyond Jordan and Galilee of the nations.
Galilee of the nations. Wait a minute. So Galilee is this melting pot of a place. It's got a whole lot of stuff going on. So if somebody is going to be like this Israelite who's going to be the person of the covenant, I mean, this probably ain't the place he gonna come from, right? That's at least what the people feel. Go ahead.
The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shined. Thou hast multiplied the nation, and not increased the joy. They joy before thee according to the joy in harvest, and as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. For upon us,
Unto us
a child is born. Unto us a son is given. The government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty El, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. And of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth even forever. The zeal of Yahweh of hosts will perform this.
All right, so the words that were spoken before, this is where they got it from. It was as it is written, as Isaiah says. Now let's go to John chapter 1. Yohanan chapter 1. And we're going to read verses 43 through 47.
The day following, Yeshua would go forth into Galilee, and findeth Philip, and saith unto him, Follow me. Now Philip was of Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter, of Cephas. Philip findeth Nathanael, and saith unto him, We have found him, of whom Moshe in the law and the prophets did write, Yeshua of Nazareth, the son of Joseph.
Right. It says, and this is something that you have to have and be ready for the one bookers. We have found him of whom Moshe in the law and the prophets did write. So when they ask about the Messiah is in the law and the prophets. Go ahead.
And Nathanael said unto him, Can there any good thing come out of Nazareth?
Wait a minute. So this place where Yahweh has purposely put Yeshua in is not a good place per se. They say, wait a minute, man, ain't nothing good ever came out of Nazareth, brother. You trying to tell me that you done found he who Moshe spoke of, and you found him in Nazareth? Go ahead.
Philip saith unto him, Come and see. And Yeshua saw Nathanael coming to him, and saith of him, Behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile.
Now, we even considering the kind of people who Yeshua chose, understand now, he chose these people out of Galilee. Now, Nazareth is in Galilee. Not only do they not accept Yeshua, but they got a problem with the people he got too. Man, you ain't getting no people from the priesthood. You got some fishermen from Galilee, bruh. Man, ain't nobody listening to them. Ain't nobody listening to you. Okay. Now let's go see why they had so much problem with Galilee. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 9. So this is the power of dealing with Yahweh. Sometimes Yahweh puts you in a situation so you can have the right upbringing for the job. But sometimes the wrong upbringing is the right upbringing. First Kings chapter 9, let's read verses 1 through 13.
And it came to pass, when Shlomo had finished building the house of Yahweh, and the king's house, and all Shlomo's desire, which he was pleased to do, that Yahweh appeared to Shlomo the second time, as he had appeared unto him in Gibeon. And Yahweh said unto him, I have heard thy prayer, and thy supplication, that thou hast made before me. I have hallowed this house, which thou hast built, to put my name there forever, and mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually. And if thou wilt walk before me as David thy father walked, in integrity of heart and in uprightness, that do according to all that I have commanded thee, and wilt keep my statutes and my judgments, then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever. As I promised to David thy father, saying, there shall not fail thee a man upon the throne of Israel.
Right. In other words, I will continually fulfill a son to be a king out of your lineage. Go ahead.
But if you shall not turn from following me, you and your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes, which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them, then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them, and this house which I have hallowed for my name will I cast out my sight. And Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people.
Wait a minute. If you were given the holy name of Israel and then you decide not to walk in the holiness, then he's got to take his name from off you. Wait a minute, that's a part of it. So this is why you the only people here in this land that's got a hyphen in your name. You are African American. Africans who come to America are not even African Americans. Check that out. People who literally come from Africa and live in America are not African Americans, but you are. What the hell going on here? Right. But because you decided not to walk, I got to take my name back. No, you don't get my name until you start walking. That's why I say, keep my God name out your mouth. Don't sit up there behind your choir on Sunday morning and keep yelling out Yahweh and Yahshua. Keep my God name out your mouth. Go ahead.
And at this house, which is high, everyone that passeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss, and they shall say, why hath Yahweh done this unto this land and to this house? And they shall answer, because they forsook Yahweh their Elohim, who brought forth their fathers out of the land of Egypt, and have taken hold upon other gods, and have worshipped them and served them. Therefore hath Yahweh brought upon them all this evil. And it came to pass, at the end of 20 years, when Shlomo had built the two houses, the house of Yahweh and the king's house.
Okay.
Now Hiram, the king of Tyre, had furnished Solomon with cedar trees and fir trees and with gold, and according to all his desire. That then King Shlomo gave Hiram 20 cities in the land of Galilee.
Wait a minute, whoa. Hiram wasn't an Israelite. Hiram was given cities, plural, in Galilee. So when you read Galilee of the nations and Galilee of the Gentiles, understand where the Gentile come from. Shlomo gave him that. But Yahweh still saw fit to send his son into the city of this melting pot of Gentiles. Now, it wasn't just Gentiles there, but a lot of them resided now. It was given unto Hiram. So understand why the other Israelites would have a problem out of anything coming out of Galilee. So what does Yahweh do? Yeah, send the Savior of the whole world to a place that they're going to have a problem with. Hell yeah. Let me see what's going to happen here. Yeah. But no, he should come out of Jerusalem. Yeah, he going to come out of Jerusalem and go into Galilee. Come on now, follow me. Yeah, I need for him to come from somewhere that they got a problem with. Keep reading.
And Hiram came out from Tyre to see the cities which Solomon had given him, and they pleased him not.
Wait a minute. The Gentile doesn't even like the cities. The Gentile don't even like Galilee. Hey, man, what this is you done gave me, bruh? I thought we were friends. You gonna give me Galilee, bruh? The Gentile don't even want it. But Yahweh said, send my son into the place that even the Gentile don't even want. Now, you have a lot of things that are happening here, because right here he's exercising something in the hearts of men. So you have a lot of East Coast people who refuse to listen or learn from someone in the South. You have a lot of islanders who won't listen to anyone who come from the States. To test the hearts of men, Yahweh will place his word in a place that will hinder them if they are controlled by their prejudices. He will not allow them to hear the word from somebody exactly like them, although he has a teacher somewhere exactly like them. If he allows this, he removes the opportunity to exercise them in humbleness if he allows them to find that teacher. They would learn, but they will stay in their prejudices, and that would serve him no purpose. Let's go to John chapter 7. See, he know what he doing. No. Let him be raised in Galilee. Yeah, they don't like to hear from people in Galilee. He already has a schism before the man even begins his job. Let him go to the land that don't nobody like. I want him to come from there. That's why the brother said, does any good thing come out of Nazareth? Bro, Nazareth in Galilee, bro. You want us to follow a man come out of Nazareth? He already got it. And we operate in the same thing here. East Coast folk don't want to listen to Southern folk. Southern folk don't want to listen to Midwest folk. You got all of these prejudice, and Yahweh will exercise you right in the middle of that prejudice. He won't give the word to the person that you're going to relate to. He going to give a word to somebody else, and he going to sit back and see what you're going to do. You think all these people were sacrificing, you ain't going to have to go and sacrifice nothing? Now, what he want on that altar is your pride. He ain't trying to get you on the altar. John chapter 7, let's start at verse 1.
After these things, Yeshua walked in Galilee, for he would not walk in Uri, because the Yehudi sought to kill him.
Right, now he got to go back to Galilee to be amongst them people. Does any good thing come out of there? But the Jews trying to kill him. But Yahweh still has some significance of why he wanted him in Galilee. Keep reading.
Now the Yehudi's feast of tabernacle was at hand. His brethren therefore said unto him, Depart hence, and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest. For there is no man that doeth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. If thou do these things, show thyself to the world.
Now, understand, now he had done some good works. He'd done some things in Galilee. No, man, come on, man, you need to take this. Hey, this show need to go on the road. We need to go to Hollywood, baby. It's time us to go. We got to go to Judea. Come on now. Go ahead.
For neither did his brethren believe in him. Then Yeshua said unto them, My time is not yet come, but your time is always ready. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth.
Wait a minute. The son of Elohim is hated. Why? Keep reading.
Because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil.
Right. And when people can't match the works that you do, you're going to have some evil things said about you. If he must overcome, you must overcome as well. Keep reading.
Go ye up unto this feast. I go not up yet unto this feast, for my time is not yet full come. When he said these words unto them, he abode still in Galilee. But when his brethren were gone up, then went he also up unto the feast, not openly, but as it were in secret. Then the Yehudi sought him at the feast and said, Where is he? And there was much murmuring among the people concerning him, for some said, He is a good man. Others said, Nay, but he deceiveth the people.
Right. You ought to sit around the corner and listen to what's said about you. Some people say, oh man, he's a really fine, upstanding individual. And somebody else said, man, I can't stand him. He make me sick. If he is overcome, so shall you. Or do you get upset because somebody said something? Y'all sure know what they were saying about him? He ain't stop at work. We get so, I can't believe it. They said something about me. They said something about me that wasn't nice. I don't like it. They said something about me that hurt my feelings. When? I can't work in here. Right. Will you go also? Go ahead.
Howbeit, no man spake openly of him for fear of the Yehudi. Now, about the midst of the feast, Yeshua went up into the temple and taught. And the Yehudi marveled, saying, How knowest this man letters, having never learned? That's it.
So they automatically offended. But let's go to something else, because we need to get the next little bit of that. Let's go to Joshua chapter 21. Joshua 21. And I want you to start at verse 19. So those situations and circumstances that was presenting themselves for him to go into Galilee, those wasn't just things that happened. He purposely sent him to Galilee knowing that the people were going to have a problem listening to somebody from Galilee. But then there's also another reason. Go ahead.
All the cities of the children of Aaron, the priests, were 13 cities with their suburbs.
Verse 19, all the cities of the children of Aaron, the priests, were 13 cities with their suburbs. Go ahead.
And the families of the children of Kohath, and the Levites, which remaineth of the children of Kohath, even they had the cities of their lot out of the tribe of Ephraim. For they gave them Shechem with her suburbs in Mount Ephraim to be a city of refuge for the slayer, and Gezer with her suburbs.
So, you know, the priests are spread around throughout the tribes. Go ahead. Jump to verse 27.
And unto the children of Gershon, of the families of the Levites, out of the other half tribe of Manasseh, they gave Golan and Bashan with her suburbs, to be a city of refuge for the slayer, and Bashira with her suburbs, 2 cities.
Now, jump to verse 32.
And out of the tribe of Naphtali, Kadesh in Galilee with her suburbs, to be a city of refuge for the slayer, and Hamath Dor with her suburbs, and Karteth with her suburbs, 3 cities.
So wait a minute. So Galilee, we got city of refuge. Yeah, and he felt comfortable going in there. What happened? You can't run in there and slay nobody. So yes, he's learning among all these people, but it's also a city of refuge. So he learns to deal with all the people who done ran. They running from murders. They running from all of them. And this is where he sits him to teach him. This is where he sits him to train him. Everything he needs, he learned it right there in Galilee. Now he can deal with all the other people. Why? Because everybody who came to Galilee was running from somewhere else. This is why they said, does any good thing come out of Nazareth? My son. Yes, something good come out of Nazareth. Because Nazareth is his training ground. See, I'm going to have him train in horrible conditions. And it's going to make him great. So, our refuge was trained in the city of refuge. Yahweh has something going there. Let's go to Luke chapter 19. You see, we want our way to be lined with gold. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We want to ride in heated seats. And we don't want nothing to ever happen to the Corolla. No. Let all my travels be sweet before me. Luke chapter 19, and we're going to read verses 20 through 27.
And another came, saying, Adonai, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. And he saith unto him, Out of thine own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knowest that I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then givest not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might requite mine own with interest? And he said unto them that stood by, Take from him the pound, and give it to him that hath 10 pounds.
Take it from him and give it to somebody who has proven that they can handle multiple situations. Go ahead.
And they said unto him, Master, he hath 10 pounds. For I say unto you, that unto every one which hath shall be given, and from him that hath not, even that he hath shall be taken away from him.
Right, it shall be taken away from him because he didn't handle it right. Go ahead.
But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither, and slay them before me.
Right. So, what we have to do is back up and look at this. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them. The ones who reject his authority won't work. When you look at all of the isms and schisms that happen, pay attention. It's always somebody who ain't doing nothing. They were already showing their disdain by not working. They were already showing that. This is why instead of joining in the work, a person to come just tell you, if it were me, I'd do it like this. So you give them the shovel and they still don't do nothing. What happened? They said, I will not have this individual reign over me. He said, no, man, didn't that brother come from Nazareth? Right. Yahweh knows how to do just enough to exercise our own prejudice. And here go Israel. We talk all of that stuff. No. We talking about an Israelite who looked just like them, but they said, no. He was raised in the wrong place. And sometimes we'll get caught up and say, hey, go not to the Gentiles or in the way of the Samaritans. Let me tell you something. Yahshua was brought up around Gentiles. He was brought up around all of them. So we misunderstand what that's about. No. Go not to the way of the Gentiles because you got to set up the priesthood. You ain't going to find no priest among the Gentiles. Understand, you got to train these priests. After you get these priests trained, then we can deal with the Gentiles. See, people's own prejudice make them believe that he has something against the Gentiles. He was raised with them. That's not what that was. But if that's all you see from that, then that's what you're going to take and run with. Let's go to Luke chapter 20. See, he leaves just enough there for you. See? Just enough for you to take your little prejudice ride with you. That what you want? He got just enough for you. He ain't making you take on the ride. He giving you enough for you to get on that bus by yourself. You have to be careful. At least he put your salvation in the hand of somebody you can't stand. Luke chapter 20. And let's start at verse 9.
Then began he to speak to the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard, and led it forth to husbandmen, and went into a far country for a long time. And at the season he sent a servant to the husbandmen, that they should give him of the fruit of the vineyard. But the husbandmen beat him and sent him away empty. And again he sent another servant, and they beat him also, and entreated him shamefully, and sent him away empty. And again he sent a third, and they wounded him also, and cast him out. Then said the master of the vineyard, what shall I do? I will send my beloved son. It may be they will receive him.
They will reverence.
They will reverence him, excuse me.
And reverence. It is the highest form of respect. They're going to respect. They're going to honor him. And surely they will do this because I'm going to send my son. Go ahead.
They will reverence him when they see him. But when the husbandmen saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, this is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours.
Right. When Yosef, that dreamer, was afar off, they conspired against him before he even got there. Let us kill him and let's take his coat of many colors, and then we'll see what's going to happen of his dreams. Go ahead.
So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. What therefore shall the master of the vineyard do unto them? He shall come and destroy these husbandmen, and shall give the vineyard to others. And when they heard it, they said, Elohim forbid.
Right. For Israel has not dealt with the vineyard correctly, so he kicked Israel out of the vineyard and gave it to the Gentiles. He said, I'm going to make you jealous with a foolish people. You had the vineyard, but look at how you act. Go ahead.
And he beheld them and said, what is this then that is written? The stone which the builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner. Whosoever shall fall upon the stone shall be broken, but whosoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder.
All right, let's go to chapter 23, Luke chapter 23. And I want to read verses 52 through 56.
This man went unto Pilate and begged the body of Yeshua. And he took it down and wrapped it in linen and laid it in the sepulchre that was hewn in stone, wherein never man before was laid. And that day was the preparation of the Sabbath drew near. And that day was the preparation, and the Sabbath drew on.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman also, which came with him from Galilee.
Wait a minute. So bad enough he got brothers that done followed him from Galilee. Man, he got women from Galilee. And wait a minute, these women were doing some different kind of stuff when they was in Galilee. So it's no wonder why they said, look,
He got a child. He got such and such. They said, surely, if he's traveling with anybody traveling with Mary, come on, you know Mary, quite contrary. You know what the deal is. You know what it is. You know what it is. Ain't nobody traveling with Mary.
now see, because they couldn't travel with Mary and not go there.
They say ain't no way in the world nobody went nowhere with Mary, and they didn't, because you know Mary. One time I saw Mary wiping his feet with her hair. And you know what was next.
Now, if they can't figure out how not to do that, then they automatically assume you can't either.
Ain't nobody just visiting Mary. You know what Mary about. She from Galilee, girl. You know how they get down in the Galilee to the lead.
All right, go ahead.
And the woman also came with him from Galilee, followed after, and beheld the sepulchre, and how his body was laid. And they returned, and prepared spices and ointments, and rested the Sabbath day, according to the commandment.
And rested the Sabbath day according to the commandment. Now let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Matthew chapter 28. We must overcome as he has also overcome. That means there's going to be some situations that are out of our control. And we're going to have to deal with them. And some of those things may not look like it is something that you should get involved with, and come to figure out it was his plan for you the entire time. You didn't just wind up in this situation. He carefully crafted all of these things to make sure that you would be in this situation. Matthew chapter 28, and let's start that at verse 7.
And go quickly, and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead. And behold, he goeth before you into Galilee.
Wait a minute. Wait, man, come on, man. Come on. Come on now. Man, you got, come on now. Go up here somewhere else. Don't do this. Yeshua, don't do this. Yeshua, we got enough problems, man. Don't do this. Don't go anywhere, man. Don't go to Galilee, man. Right. You want to go where your schism is. Oh, no. That's where you got a problem, right? Yeah. So those that have a problem, they ain't going to go meet me there. Only those who worship in truth and in spirit gonna worship and go look for me there. Right. Go ahead.
There shall ye see him. Lo, I have told you. And they departed quickly from the sepulchre with fear and great joy, and did run to bring his disciples word. And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Yeshua met them, saying, All hail. And they came and held him by the feet and worshipped him. Then said Yeshua unto them, Be not afraid. Go tell my brethren that they go into Galilee, and there shall they see me.
Right. Come to the city of refuge, and you'll see me. Wait a minute, why we can't see you right here? No. Tell them where to go meet me. Because only the people who truly looking for me gonna go. See, people who got a schism in their heart, they not gonna go. Go there. That's where you gonna find me. God, your heart is real. You don't just get a ticket on this train just because you say you found out you Israel. That ain't how this works. That's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.